Yeah, it says capture leads with open houses.
Let me,
What did Beth say yesterday? You
Oh.
remember what hers was called?
I can pull it up if you give me a second,
I
John.
don't know, but your wife posted something funny about you today. Did you hear me, John?
Posted something what?
Funny.
Funny on Facebook about you. Yesterday was session 6, grow your database.
What'd your wife say?
What'd she say? Or what was it?
I'll have to look. Let me see.
Okay. I remember she posted something about the dogs and stuff.
Just don't freak out. It's okay.
Right. But I mean, I got some bad reviews the other day, so.
Well, I don't think you got bad reviews. I think it's just what you said. Don't mess it up.
I didn't. That was already. I'm trying to fix it.
Okay.
Sorry, Renee. We're trying to get this straightened out.
Renee, he's bothering.
No worries. I'm trying to find your wife's Facebook post.
Oh, okay.
She said, my husband annoyed me this morning, so I decided to hide some of his stuff. And it's a reel of someone hiding their husband's things in silly places.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
Renee, I was talking about something like that the other day. It was like where they just took their stuff and just like turned it upside down or
Yeah,
something.
or moved it 4 inches over.
Yeah. I tried to tell that to my boyfriend. He was like, I don't get it. I was like, yeah, I bet you don't. This is bizarre.
It is bizarre.
But don't freak out about
No,
it.
I'm not. I'm not. I just.
This whole thing's messed up.
Because I'm pretty sure I used this book last time.
Well, this is what we always use.
Oh, but I'm like, okay, session 6, which was heard yesterday, says for sale signs on automobiles, sell your listings. That's not what it was.
All right, give us a minute. We're gonna figure this out.
You have there, what is that? Oh, sorry. When the buyer. See, none of that even matches up to what we're. Is this the old one or is this? Then I have my, okay, so we need to get rid of these maybe? Yeah.
Wait.
Well, no, I just want to set them aside. I don't get them mixed up again. They need to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
They don't have
Putting
to
them down here.
You can look at them and, so you're gonna put them back in there?
Yeah, okay. That's the, here's yours. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh, I got
Here you
another
go.
issue too. I got my maps coaching call at 10:30. So we're gonna go fast. Do you hear me, Renee? I won't
What'd
go
you
too
say?
fast. I have my maps coaching call at 10:30
Oh,
and
you need to make sure you don't rush it too much.
I'm not gonna rush it too much.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm gonna
You're
do-
also gonna have to admit people as they come in.
I'm gonna do my best. I guarantee it won't be as bad as the other day, but that's not saying a whole lot.
no stress.
Let me see if I
It
can
was
just wrap
it
this
was
around.
good
Hey,
information.
thank you. Okay, ready? Thanks, Madison. Sorry, I'm such a. Renee, who all's in here? Oh, I see 4 participants.
Did you let him in?
Let's see. Uh,
Sophia and Carol.
yes, they're in, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. How are y'all doing this morning?
Great. Just so cold. I'm like by my space heater right now, warming up.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, let's see. Today we're doing capture leads with open houses. Today we're covering how to capture leads with open houses. We'll go over the benefits of open houses, some of the best practices, and look at and prepare prospect and pursue model. Okay. What challenges did anyone encounter lately, other than the snow and the ice and all that good stuff? I know nobody can get out in this stuff, but have y'all been lead genning?
Yes. So I found out in my farm, everyone's outside clearing their sidewalks and their cars. So it's been great to be able to interact with them because a lot of times people aren't outside and they are now.
Yes, I agree. When I was out there a couple days ago, it was like I was just head down and getting after it. Did everyone do their 10-5-1 social media?
Yep.
Renee,
Yes, I have.
thank you. Carol? Oh, you're just starting out, aren't you? Can you hear me, Carol?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. And I want to ask Renee a question, if that's okay.
Yeah,
Renee,
go ahead.
have you lived in your neighborhood long?
No, I haven't. We moved in less than a year and a half ago.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
That helps me understand getting to know your neighbors and farming your area. Thank
It's
you.
just, yeah, it's just about getting out, walking around. Of course, you can't in this kind of weather, but that's why you have to be really intentional. You know, when the weather's decent, get out, walk your dog. If you don't have, just walk the neighborhood. You know, if you have an
Okay.
HOA, get involved in that type of stuff.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Let's see. By the end of this session, you will be able to describe the benefits of holding an open house, identify the best practices for holding an open house, be prepared to hold an open house. To start thinking about what you will learn today, let's consider what questions we might have and what we'd like to learn more about. Since we're not in the classroom, you really can't, it says find a partner, but do any of y'all have any questions before we get started about open houses?
I have a question.
What's that?
So there's a house for sale just a street over from me, and it is not a Keller Williams house, but no one has open houses. Can you call them and ask if you can host an open house for them, even though it's a different company?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Just like, we're supposed to contact people when we do a post or advertise for their property. You can ask any other agent, any other brokerage, and that's a good way to connect and possibly build your downline. A lot of agents don't like to do open houses, so that's a good opportunity. But yeah, just call them and introduce yourself and tell them you love to do open houses, especially if it's in your neighborhood.
Okay, great.
Yes. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Nothing else about your business will have as big an impact on it as the number of leads you have. It's like we said the other day, you can never have enough leads. Why do we begin this session on open houses with this quote? Your number one job is to gain leads. This is one way to impact the number of leads you have. And why hold open houses? What is the purpose or goal of open houses? Sell the house, capture leads. The majority of the time, you're not going to get a buyer for that particular property. That's another thing. You're trying to get leads from that. Every now and then, yes, someone will come through and purchase that home that won't have an agent or anything, or sometimes they will have an agent. So the majority of the time, you're trying to build rapport with them, maybe get some contact information and keep in touch with them. As a new agent, open houses are an easy, fun, and low-cost way to find buyers. Your goal in holding an open house is not only to sell the home, it is to put yourself in the path of opportunity. The business opportunity to meet people, add to your data bank, and set appointments, especially with interested buyers. For many agents, holding open houses is their number one strategy to build a strong business, and it can be yours too. Follow a proven model and buyers and sellers come to you. Other visitors may not be actively looking to buy or sell. Nevertheless, a memorable and favorable impression can generate referrals now and business farther down the road. Good morning. How's it going? No, there's somebody. I'm sorry. I admitted her a minute ago. I don't know. Yeah. Or no, maybe I did. Casey.
Okay, I'm gonna change your camera around to this one. So that
Okay.
you can also talk to Shanana. Let's see. Okay, is that okay, everybody? You'll still be able to hear him.
Is that okay?
I think the other was better to see John's face. I think it's better.
I know, we have somebody in here now, though.
Oh, okay.
What if I, since she's on that side, what if I do this and then
That's what you wanna do. Oh,
you're good with
camera.
that? Yeah. Huh?
I just don't want to be on camera.
Let's
Well,
see.
you are.
No,
No,
I think you are.
no,
I can't see you. You're not on camera.
she's not. No.
No.
All right. Switching sides. I hope this side's a little better than the other side. Do you have a participant guy? Okay. Yeah, go ahead and get that out. It's session 7, open houses. It'd be easier for you.
Okay. Okay, then
Let's see.
oh, right, here it is.
You got it? Okay, all right. All right, let's see. We always begin with checking in with our mindset. In day 1, you were introduced to the 6 personal perspectives, specifically remove your limiting beliefs. However, you may be having some limiting beliefs about open houses, and let's dispel them right away. Anyone have any limiting beliefs about holding open houses?
I do.
What
They
is
don't-
it,
They
Casey?
don't want to talk to me.
They don't want to, oh yeah, you mentioned that the other day. Yeah. Well, you just, it's just like anything else, practice makes perfect. The more often you do it, it's, just like making your calls and everything, it gets easier. you learn how to do it. It's just making conversation, building rapport with people, making them feel comfortable that, they can talk with you.
Casey, have you done any open houses in Kentucky yet?
I have not.
Maybe I think the people are friendlier here.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, we can say that and then we can wink like, yeah, we are. Um, let's see. I don't have a listing to hold open. There you go, Renee. Ask other agents in your market center or anyone else for permission to hold one of their listings open. I don't have signs yet. Ask your market center to borrow signs or use the signs of the listing agent. Or you can ask other agents in the market center. A lot of us have open signs. What's that?
Are we able to like host open houses for other agents
Yes.
outside of?
Yep. Renee just asked that because there's one, I believe, in her neighborhood, and she works her neighborhood. Yeah, just call the agent. A lot of agents don't like to do open houses. So it's a good opportunity also for you to introduce yourself to that agent, build some rapport with that agent, maybe build your downline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a really good opportunity.
I have a question.
What's that? Go ahead.
So, how do you find open house to hold? I mean, I know about the Renee was talking about holding other people open house.
Yeah.
That's what I did in California, and then they actually changed the law like 2 years ago, and we cannot hold other brokerage open house because of liability. So, how do we find open house within the office? I know we have a group chat, but
Yeah. Well, I reached out to probably 6 or 7 agents, and the ones that hold open houses, there's a bunch, the ones that have listings and stuff, and reach out to them and say, I'd like to do open houses. Like I said earlier, a lot of them don't like to do open houses. So it's a good opportunity.
and then another thing, a lot of the agent in California kind of greedy. So although you're holding their open house for them, sometimes you have to pass on like sellers leads. Is it the same here or just kind of
Well, there are some agents that, no, it's your lead. It's your lead. You don't pass them on. Um, some agents, I've run across a few agents here in the area that they want 50% of the lead.
Mhm.
I don't work with them
Yeah.
much. But the majority of agents, if you go in there, you capture the lead, it's your lead. You don't have to share with anybody or anything. Most people, understand that. So I may not know the answers to questions visitors have. Prepare in advance. We'll discuss more about this in a little bit. Open houses don't work. Yes, people do look online, yet many buyers and neighbors like the actual walkthrough, like to walk through the open house, and they still gives you the opportunity to meet people and put them in your downline or not in your downline, in your database. I won't be safe. Very valid point, which we will cover today also. Consider buddying up with another Ignite participant. And it might not be a good idea if you're worried about some of that stuff to do an open house, a mile out of town or out, somewhere that you feel it's sketchy. Another thing you can do is partner up. You can shadow some agents that are doing open houses. That's another good way to meet other agents, get involved, build a relationship with them also. Okay. Should every house be held open? Under what circumstances would you not recommend holding an open house? The sellers specifically do not agree to have an open house. And that's one of the things you want to ask when you're on a listing presentation. Some people like them. Other people are against them for various reasons. So that's one thing you want to ask when you're doing your listing presentation. Some sellers are not agreeable to decluttering, cleaning up, sanitizing, etc., so that house does not show well, which you should ask them to declutter and do some of those things, but not everybody will. When it's not necessary to show, for example, in a seller's market, when there are immediate multiple offers or houses are being bought unseen, which a few years back during COVID, that type of stuff. Okay. Open houses, who benefits? We know that two main goals for open houses are to sell houses and generate leads. Who does the open house benefit?
Everybody involved.
Like who specifically?
Buyer.
I say the agent.
Yeah, the agent, is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, like, I think everybody, because if somebody comes and they're wanting to buy the house, it really fits everybody.
Yeah,
That's the way I'm
Yeah.
looking at it, but I guess
Yeah.
that somebody.
Yeah. and it can, yeah, you're right. Sellers to show the house to lots of potential buyers all at one time, high exposure. Buyers to see the house without obligation, that is, without being qualified to research houses. NRA statistics, 51% of buyers research through open houses. Neighbors to see how their home compares to the listed house in price and condition. And you'll get some of the neighbors that'll come through. And that's another good thing. You can go door knocking a day or two before and invite the neighbors to come over and check it out. Some people do it before the open house to give them like, a half hour or an hour, just so the neighbors can come through before the open house starts to the public. A lot of them like that. Because who doesn't want to know what their neighbor's house looks like on the inside? And, we all want to know that stuff. And you, the agent, capture leads of potential buyers, other sellers, future buyers and sellers. Connect with the neighborhood prior to the event. Place signs with your name throughout the neighborhood. Practice conversations, answer questions, provide value. Okay. The benefits of open houses. Inexpensive prospecting tool. Number 3, high ROI, return on investment. 4, qualified leads. Can anyone think of any other benefits?
I say like be the neighborhood agent, because if you're holding it the same neighborhood and you're sized out every weekend, so they think you're like the area specialist.
Yes, right. Thanks, Casey. Because the more people see you, the more activity they do. They see you as the expert.
Hey, John, Julie's waiting to get in. Can you let
Oh,
her in?
I'm so sorry.
No
Yes.
worries.
Thanks for letting me know. And Scott.
This is Tiara Newkirk. I'm a new agent, but I was just gonna add, it also increases exposure.
Yes. exposure for
For the
you,
for the
the
agent,
agent.
yeah, and the
Yes.
home, obviously. And then also creates a sense of urgency. When people walk through, it just kind of signals, a sense of demand. So I think that helps as well.
Yes. Thanks. One of the primary benefits of open houses is that they are relatively inexpensive to host. You might buy some waters or something, do some flyers beforehand to go, when you go door knocking and inviting some of the neighbors. Open houses are also a very useful prospecting tool for lead generation. That is to meet buyers, sellers, and other agents. Because there will be some other agents that come through. That's another thing you can do is go to open houses. You're doing multiple things. You're checking out the home. That way, in case somebody said, hey, I saw the house on 123 Main Street is available. Yeah. Kitchen. It's a nice, large kitchen. We can go check it out. Bedrooms aren't as big, but I've been in there and build rapport with the other agents. The main thing you invest when preparing an open house is time. The return on investment can be tremendous. You can generate leads, qualify leads, and potentially get a closed deal, which that's pretty good ROI. What types of leads are you most likely to get from open houses?
Buyers.
Buyers, some
Yes.
sellers.
Yes. And yes.
Or people in the neighborhood getting ready to sell their house.
Potential sellers. Yes. Yep. Thanks. Anyone have any ahas? One aha. Somebody throw me a lifeline. Come on. Anyone out there? What's yours?
I would say, actually, I learned something here, John, about being able to do other companies' open houses. That's an aha for me. I didn't realize you could do that.
Yes.
So that was a major aha for me. I made a lot of notes about that
Oh,
because
okay.
there's several houses for sale in my neighborhood, but they're not doing open houses. So
Well, that's
even
a great
though
opportunity.
yeah,
Yep.
I wish I had my license. Then I could go do them. But
I mean,
thank you.
What's that,
I wasn't
Scott?
aware of that either.
I mean, is that common to do other company listings like
Yeah.
that for open houses? I've never
Yeah.
done one either. I didn't even know we could do that.
I did a couple of them over in Tuscany back in, let's see, September, October, that time frame. Yeah, just reach out to the other agent. I've also reached out to other agents to go make, just tell them that you want to make a video and you make a video in their home, this lovely home is, but you've got to make sure that you say this is a listing of Jim Scott with such and such brokerage. So just ask.
And is there anything
Yeah,
that
I
we have to
wasn't
do
aware
as
of
far
that
as
one.
paperwork goes for the brokerage if we're doing something like
No.
that? Is that open house?
I don't believe so. Let me check on that and I'll get right back with you. I've never done any paperwork, Scott, so I'm pretty sure no, but let me double check in case something's changed.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking that. Another great question. Okay. Now let's go over some of the best practices to put in place to solidify your effort. Remember the 6 personal perspectives, especially E to P. With everything we do, it's essential to be purposeful in our mindset and our actions. Before your open house, set concrete and achievable goals. For example, tell yourself your goal is to add 6 people to your database. Which that's another thing with open houses, they're hit or miss. And well, this weather, it's, when it's extreme, but I've had people at open houses when in a downpour, really cold, and I've had nobody show up. Beautiful sunny day. So just do your homework, and a lot of it depends on your research, and we'll talk about that in a little bit as far as preparing for the open house. What other goals could be useful to set yourself up before you host an open house?
Set appointments.
Yes.
I think you'd want to be knowledgeable about the house
Right.
so you can
Yep.
answer questions.
Yes. Yes. I've been in that situation also. Somebody gave me the wrong address of a home I was holding open, and it was on the same street. Both of them were for sale. Yes, this is a true story. And the day of is when I realized it, like an hour before the open house. So I had to pivot. So yes, it was interesting. And when I went around the neighborhood, there was a couple of people. I reached out to the other agent that did the other open house because we were laughing about it. And a couple of people came by and said that, yes, they remember me from walking around the neighborhood. And she sent them up to the house I was actually at also. So yeah, it was, yes, do your research, be prepared.
I would say promote it everywhere that you possibly can.
Yep. Yes. Just like leads, you can never have too many.
Right.
Sheridan Sims, I was in a class that he was doing a couple of years ago, and he said he's never heard anybody say that he gave them too much information, or anybody said anything about giving them information. So yeah, the more people, the better. Think back to earlier when we said the goals are not just to set appointments. Open houses are a great way to generate leads.
I would
Okay.
say follow up after your open house for sure. Making sure you're following up with all of your contacts that you received or your leads that you received.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's like a 7-step guide to open houses. Keller Williams has, and it explains before the open house, during the open house, follow up, everything, sending thank you cards. I'll get y'all that information.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Picking the house is a crucial step in the open house process. It's important to look for a great and visible location, preferably not more than 3 turns from a major road. And while they're saying that, I usually put a sign at the main road saying there's no, open house sign. Then I put one at every turn. So somebody's not, they're going to the back of the neighborhood when it's on this 3rd street or something. Because not everybody uses their GPS. Some people are go out riding around. They see an open house and they're like, yeah, let's stop in. So I know some people are like, well, they have their GPS, but not everybody, some people are just out driving around.
John,
Yes.
so I make a list of all the homes similar to mine in my open house in the area. So if the house that I'm having open for doesn't fit for them, I can schedule to show them some of the other homes in the neighborhood that might be a better fit.
Excellent idea. Excellent idea. That's one thing I do. When I go and put out, I decide to go usually on a Friday if my open house is either Saturday or Sunday. When I go door knocking with my flyers, I also I also schedule a couple of showings for myself for a couple of houses that are like that. Reason being is I can explain to them a little bit more, just like I said earlier. Yeah, that's a great house. Yes, the kitchen is a little bigger than here. I'm done with this open house in about an hour. I have some time a little while after that. If y'all have some time, I can set up a showing. We can go see it. You're right. Thanks, Julie. Thanks for all the participation today. Appreciate y'all.
I have a question. When you are talking about flyers, door knocking, what type of flyer is that? Is that just like the informational flyer for the property that you're hosting the open house for?
Yes. And what I do is I don't give them all the information. I just
Okay.
give them some basic information um, to pique their interest.
Okay.
Yeah, just basic things about the house and what time the house is open and all that stuff. And I usually, if nobody answers, which a lot of people don't, you'll find that too. Not everybody answers, not everybody wants to talk to you. I usually tape it to the door, the storm door.
Okay.
So you want to have that information on there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Another thing is, as you prepare for the open house, you should get to know the closest shopping centers, grocery stores, architecture, coffee shops, restaurants, any of that stuff, athletic clubs, parks, schools. Schools is a top one. A lot of people, that's their main criteria. They want to move into a certain school district. When you're choosing your house, you don't always have to pick the most expensive house on the market or the least expensive. A good thing, some people like to work with first-time home buyers, so you should concentrate on those. Don't go do an open house on one that's, mid-level, a $400,000 home if you want to work with first-time home buyers. You can do that if there's no first-time home buyer homes. I'm not saying don't do them, but your first choice should be with the ones you want to work with in the neighborhoods you want to work with. And that gets back to, the price bracket. If the goal of an open house is generate and qualify leads, what other things should we think about before we pick the home for the open house? Anything I didn't cover or something I covered that you didn't think about? What's up, T?
Look up the bottom.
Well, yeah,
Work center.
whatever you want to fix. Thanks, man. Okay, okay. Let's see.
Actually, John, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Carol.
Um, with Keller Williams Realtors, is there a listing of open houses that we could volunteer to do or ask if we can do a way to get into our Commonwealth Keller Williams group that we can do houses for them?
Yeah,
Am I
we have.
making sense?
Yeah, we have. Help me out. I can't remember the name of it.
Beth will also on our productivity coaching page on Facebook. She lists open houses that are available.
Okay, great, Renee. Thank you. Is
They
there
used
okay?
they used to do that on Facebook, the agents only page or whatever that we had. I don't know if we still have that, but they used to list that.
Yeah,
if
they
people
do.
wanted.
Okay,
Yeah, you can check
okay,
that out also. Yeah.
okay, great. I just wanted to know if there was something that let us know, so I will keep an eye out for that when I get my license. Thank you.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
also the app Connect Team that a lot of agents will post their open houses on too. It's called Connect Team.
And you said that it's an app?
Yes. Did you get all that, Carol?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
I don't know, am I muted? No, there.
Oh, you're good. Before you host your open house, prepare a list of questions you might be asked and practice your conversation starters. Some questions you might face will test your knowledge of the house and your market. Same thing like everything else, just like we say, practice do our role play and all that. Same thing with this. You've got to be prepared, just like taking a test or an exam. The more you prepare, the better the better the outcome. So don't just, when I first started, I didn't go door knocking. I didn't do any of that. I just showed up at the open house. People would ask me questions. I had no idea. So be prepared. Take somebody that was not prepared. You can also bring a lender or an inspector, someone like that to the house, especially if you're doing first time home buyers. It's good to have some of those people there. One of them, at least one of them, because a lot of people starting out, they don't know some of the lending side of it. They really don't know much about any of it except what they see online, which we all know, that's not a great way to always figure things out because it's not always correct. But they can answer a few questions also, put people's mind at ease, let them realize that it's not quite as scary as they believe it is. During an open house, have the visitors sign in upon arrival at the event. I usually put a sign up at the front door and say, please sign in. That way it's easier when people come in, you don't have to say, will you please sign in, all that. Say it kind of starts it. Most people, they will. Some people won't. You can ask a couple times. If not, then can't do much about that. Unless you want to, never mind. Yeah, you can't do much about that. Some agents even make this a requirement, stating it's a safety measure. During COVID, towards the end of it, when they let us out of the house and everything, we were able to say, in case someone gets sick, we know who to call and say, someone had COVID, you might want to, take a COVID test.
John?
Yes.
I don't ask them at the beginning.
What's that?
Because you can't build rapport when you're asking. It's hard to build rapport if you're asking them to sign something. So I wait till the end and I ask them that the homeowner would like some feedback. And that's where I have them get their information for their phone number and all those things.
Oh, okay.
It goes a lot better that way for me anyway.
Yeah. Especially, yeah. Some people do it that way. Some people do it, start out when they come in the home, because some people, they look at the home and then they don't want to give you information. So whatever practice works best for you. Thanks, Julie. Once you've captured their contact information, you'll have plenty of opportunities to wow them with your technology and expertise after the event. I usually tell them, I don't bring the seller's disclosure to the house. A lot of people bring that, and someone told me, really good agent told me a long time ago, you give them all the information, they don't need you. Plus, I can say, if you'd like the seller's disclosure to this, which has all the information on it, I can email it to you. And a lot of people, that's a good, easy way to at least get their email.
So you don't.
No, I don't. No. And some people are like, well, yeah, but they won't. Well, if they weren't going to give you information, they're not that, I've found they're not that interested in the house. They're not that interested in working with you or any of that stuff. If you do not use a sign-in sheet, what are other ways you can capture their information when they come through your open house? Julie, what do you do? Do you use a sign-in sheet or do you use it technology? Oh, she must be preparing for an open house. Julie?
No, I don't use technology. I use the sign-in sheet, but I use the feedback form to grab their information. I've never had
Okay.
anyone tell me they don't want to give feedback. So I always
Okay.
leave
Yeah.
at least a phone number or
I started using, there's a good thing with Keller Williams Command. You can go on your website, juliehacker.kw.com, and you can set it up and they do it on you can either have an iPad or your laptop there. When they put their information in there and they submit it, it also has a question in there that, I agree that submitting this, I agree that it's okay for the agent to contact me. But the best part is it automatically puts them in your database. And I usually ask them for feedback, when I'm talking with them and everything. And as soon as they leave, then I'll go ahead and jot down that feedback. Or I go ahead and put it in my notes in my phone. That way I can just say it instead of having to type it because I'm slow. But yeah, if you use your website, like I said, in Keller Williams, and they submit that, they're agreeing to get it, let you contact them. Plus, like I said, goes into your data bank automatically, which is great. But you can still use the sign-in sheet. A lot of agents still use it. I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm just giving you other avenues. The time you choose for the open house is important. When you know your market well and have connected with it, picking the right time to host the open house should be simple. Open houses have been known to work in any market at all dates and times. So know your market in order to drive the most traffic through your open houses. Picking the time for your open house goes hand in hand with picking a theme. If you're having your open house on a Sunday afternoon during football season, know the game scores or have the game on the TV. Another thing, people love their UK basketball. Sometimes it's hard you don't get quite as many visitors when you schedule it during a UK ball game. Not to say you can't, but I'm just saying don't expect as many. Unless you want to have, the game on, well, no, you don't want to have the game on there. People won't leave. But you can have the score, yes. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, you can learn from individuals that preceded you. What open house themes have succeeded for agents you know? Julie, do you do any open house themes?
I have not, but I've thought about it.
What's that?
Lady set up, she did it around some stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like a bunch of different agents in the neighborhood. And a bunch of different brokerages too, so there was a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
For Christmas time.
Yeah. 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 What's your name again? I'm sorry. Shadana. Shadana brought up a great point about, hosting open houses. She was saying around Christmas time when others are doing it. But that's another good thing. If somebody's holding an open house close to where you are, don't don't say, well, I shouldn't do it or anything like that. Don't have that negative belief. Reach out to that agent that's having it, and you can have it at the same time. Reach out to that agent, say, it's best if you can, have a call with them or face-to-face meeting so they know who you are and everything. It's easier, but let them know you're having an open house down the street, same time. If someone comes in, you can send them down there. Same thing. You can ask them if, they want to send somebody down your way. Saturday afternoons may conflict with kids' activities. Sunday afternoons are a popular time for open houses. What are the benefits of holding an open house at the same time as other open houses? I just said it. Yeah, you may attract people looking at other open houses in the neighborhood. You may attract clients that don't normally attend open houses because of their own scheduling conflicts. Like if somebody, they only have a couple hours on that day to do, to see a couple of open houses. Some people don't like to schedule, they think agent, oh, bad agent. Yeah, all agents are bad, that type of stuff. So if they can go look through an open house, they choose to do that. And once again, know your market. If you've been practicing connecting with and knowing your market, then gathering the neighborhood stats for your open house will be fast. Some things to know before: local information provided by the school district, employment information, recreation nearby, traffic, and commute times. I've had people also, they want to know, they work a certain, they want to move closer to work. So, ask them where they work. Oh, UK, okay. You know where the main places are at. Oh, yeah, that's 15 minutes from here. The more you know, the more prepared you are, the more they'll rely on you, the more they'll see you as the expert. Agent safety should be top priority for hosting open houses because there is a risk involved in hosting open houses. Using a buddy system can mean having another person with you at the house. In addition, you should always let someone else know when and where you will be. Consider sharing your GPS location with a friend, partner, or even your market center. Parking on the street prevents your car from being blocked in case of the need for an emergency exit. Same thing with showings. I know some of y'all are new. Park on the street. Let them park in the driveway or on the street. Do not get blocked in. You never can tell, especially if it's someone you haven't met before. Okay, be safe. Use the buddy system. Arrive early. Park on the street. Check all entrances and exits. Make sure your cell phone is fully charged. Turn on the lights. Follow market center guidelines and checklists for open houses. I'm not sure. It says check your local COVID guidelines. You also want to have your cell phone charged. You'll probably be using that to connect with the clients on the apps. So keep it fully charged as much as possible. Bring your charger to the house. Always be familiar with local health guidelines concerning masks, social distancing. Follow the market center guidelines and checklists to open houses. Before engaging in in-person activities, consult your jurisdiction on any health concerns such as COVID. Like we discussed, when we went over open house conversation starters, it may be useful to bring a partner with you to the open houses, such as like we were talking about earlier, a lender or an inspector. Another thing, you can either have someone shadow you. That's a good way, to let new agents, to help new agents out. And that's what we're always wanting to help people out, not just clients, but people in the community, other agents in our market center, other agents not in our market center. Any other safety practices anyone can think about? Any ahas?
I like the park on the street. I've been parking in the driveway, and that makes complete sense to park there so you can't be blocked.
Yes, yes. I believe we're going to have one of our committees. I can't remember which one, but we discussed that the other day. About we're going to talk about some of that stuff. Safety issues and concerns. And that's a real good one. A lot of people don't realize that, don't think about that, but it's a good one. Okay, prepare, prospect, pursue. Use a prepare, prospect, and pursue model to approach your open house. The difference between big and really big is how you manage your time and focus. And I know a lot of us struggle with that. And I know it sounds simple, but the more you put in, the more you get out of it. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Most of the work for open houses is done before the day of the open house. Prepare your mindset, practice conversations. It says most of the work, it's not all of it. The goal of your open house is to get appointments with active buyers and sellers. To be at your best and achieve what you've set out for yourself takes preparation. Schedule preparation time during the week before the open house so you can ensure that you capture leads and set appointments. You'll spend more time preparing for the open house than you will be hosting the event. Prepare your mindset beforehand. Set high and achievable goals, such as what we were talking about earlier. How many people you want to add to the database, how many conversations you want to have. Remove limiting beliefs. Focus on your success. Most importantly, believe in yourself. Practice conversations for greeting people, answering questions, capturing contact info, etc. How many leads do you intend to capture? How many appointments would you like to get from your next open house? Hey, Tristan. Oh, thanks, man. That guy's awesome. Tristan Hayes, if y'all need anything, Tristan Hayes. Viridian Title. Viridian Title. Everyone should be using Viridian Title. In-house. Okay. Let's see. You build your open house plan at the end of this section. Let's see here. We'll work on that. Okay, Monday, select the house. Tuesday, post online, walk the neighborhood, invite neighbors to showing. Wednesday, post online again, install yard sign. Thursday, post online again, invite database. Friday, post online again, prepare market statistics, print flyers, door knock. The one about inviting your database, that's a good one. A lot of people overlook that. You can invite your database, your sphere of influence. Like we were talking about earlier, the more you get the word out there, the better. You never can tell, somebody in your database might know somebody that might be interested, they just brought it up. So inviting as many people as you can, best practice. After you've done the hard work, like picking your house, know the next few steps will involve maximizing potential client traffic at your open house. A lot of this will involve posting online in the days leading up to the open house. And remember, calling people. Don't forget TCPA and the do not call list. Call up to 100 people in the days leading up to the open house. It's another good way to get your contacts in for the day. Your two-way conversations. You can get lots of good information from neighbors. Door knock and ask them, what do you love about this neighborhood? People love to talk about the neighborhood. And when you ask them, have you ever thought about selling? Well, no, we're not going to sell. We love it. The park's, right around the corner. We go to the Arboretum twice a week. It's a great conversation starter. Go to your participant guide. Locate the activity preparing for an open house. Is that in there? What page is that on? 79?
7.9 or 7.
Oh, 7.9. 7.9. Thanks. Anybody have any questions on this? Just looking over that and seeing if you have any questions about any of this stuff. Any of these items. Sophia, you have any questions?
Not really. I think that was a pretty clear overview. I think you did a good job laying everything out.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate that. I'll buy you a cup of coffee or hot chocolate next time you're in the office for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I don't know if this would be helpful. It says print 100 flyers, that's a lot. But if you go to the library, you can print 50 color copies a day for free. So I've been doing that instead of paying at the office.
Yes, that is a good help. That will help. Did you say it says print 100 flyers?
It does. On page 7.9, it says print 100 flyers. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. I didn't see that on there. I normally print about 50 and usually door knock about 25, give or take, depending on the time and weather and all that good stuff. Because like I said, it's 3 hours usually to door knock that many people, put the signs up. Another thing I like to do, other than seeing those two houses, a good way to prepare for that open house, if it's vacant, it's not an issue, but you can reach out to if you're the agent of that house, reach out to the seller and say, I'm getting ready to do this open house on Saturday. I'm coming out to put the signs out on Friday or Thursday, whatever, around 2 o'clock. I'd like to, come walk through the house one more time. Or if you're hosting an open house for someone else, another agent's home, property, then you can go ahead and tell them, reach out to them and say, hey, I'd like to come by, get a good look at the home, be prepared. Most of them, and then they can check with the seller and they can set up a time when you're going to be over there. It's another good way to prepare.
I have a question.
Yes.
So here, if you have open house on the weekend, you can leave the sign out on Friday. Like you can leave it out overnight.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Oh yeah. I've Yeah, it's not like with putting the yard sign out, the for sale sign out. It's supposed to be within 24 hours, I believe. But with open house signs, you want to generate as much traffic as possible. So yeah, we put them out 2 or 3 days beforehand. Some people put them out before that.
so I see a lot of the open house sign here are those stick, you stick on the ground. I
Yeah.
do have one of the A-frame. So it usually go on like, the sidewalk or like the street. So do you think it's still going to be okay overnight?
I wouldn't put that out overnight. No. I
Okay.
mean, you can, but if somebody's walking on down the street, either later on that evening or in the morning, yeah, it might either create a trip hazard or, you know, somebody might kick it off to the side. So I wouldn't suggest that.
Got it.
But the day of, yeah. But the other signs, you can put those out. I even, I've forgotten my signs before and pick them up on like a Tuesday after the open house. But you need to pick them up right away.
Okay. And then a follow-up question. Is it common to put like, on the day of the open house to put the A-frame in the middle of the intersection? Like the traffic lights, you put your sign right there. Is that legal?
Like in the street.
Not on the street, but like
Oh, the sidewalk.
yeah, but like by the traffic lights. And let's say like you have to turn down a traffic light to turn into the house. Can you put it right there? Just kind of
Yeah.
out it?
Are you talking about a traffic island, like the island in the middle of the
Yes.
street? Okay.
Yeah, that you can put it on. Yeah, I would ask the HOA. But yeah, you can put it in a traffic island, yeah. As long as it's not impeding traffic or like I say, if you put it on the sidewalk, make sure you put it to one side. That way, if anybody's walking, they can still walk, past it.
Did I say something about that? A couple of years ago, I was actually doing open houses for one of our agents out on Tate's Creek, and I put the open house adjacent to the property on the corner, but the people on the corner kept moving it because it was in their yard, so they were taking it
Yeah.
down. So you might want to make sure you put it on the like between the sidewalk and the street in that grassy area because some of these people don't want it in their yard.
Right. I always ask.
John,
Another,
I've never seen a sign on a median at a stoplight. Are we sure we can do that? Does anybody
yeah,
have any? Okay, because I've never
I
seen one placed in the middle
like,
of the road.
no, not in the middle of the road.
No, the island in the middle of the
The,
road.
the island.
Yeah, like if you're going to do a left turn, you'll have an island, you'll have a median there
Yeah.
beside the left turn. I've never seen a sign on that section. Can you put one there?
As
Do
long
you
as it's,
understand what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure as long as it's not impeding traffic or someone walking,
Okay,
or
thank
a
you.
pedestrian or something. I'll double check that to make sure.
Okay.
Yeah. What clients like to know? Community and neighborhood information, relocation information, first-time buyer specifics, mortgage information. There's other things, but these are just a few. Knowing the numbers of their market, of your market, will help you address things clients inquire that are not on the list. Know before you go. People that come to the open house instead intend to know community and neighborhood information. Remember, they're buying a lifestyle. Be a community service real estate expert by knowing your market. Become familiar with your neighborhood. Learn the name of the park down the street and popular restaurants in the area. Study the neighborhood history. Explore and utilize the KW apps to maximize your lead generation and follow-up. And that's what I was saying earlier about our KW. If you use your site and it goes in there, it'll have the date when they went in there, you put notes in there. And I know some of this stuff, it repeats itself, but it's worth repeating. What other things about the neighborhood might be useful to know before hosting your open house? Recreation for the area is another important aspect.
I would
People
want to know safety. Is the neighborhood relatively safe? Because I'm a single
And
woman.
that's one thing a lot of people ask us. That's a tricky one. What we do with that, there's a site that they can go to, and I apologize, I don't have it I have it in my phone. There's a site they can go to, and they usually send them to that site because you don't want to give any information about that type of stuff. Because if you give the wrong thing, they can misinterpret it. So you just direct them to that site, let them, see, because safety for some people, it's different than, other people. It's not all the same thing for everyone.
Carol, we're not allowed to do that. In class, you'll learn that. Like you can send them to the site, but you can't answer that question directly.
Okay, that's good for me to know on a personal level, but also to know professionally because I thought that would be something I could ask
Nope.
and find out. So you would send them to a site.
Yeah, you can ask it. You can ask anything, but
Yeah.
we don't tell them that.
Okay. I'm writing down. I'd like to know that site when you find out, John, if you'll let me know.
Renee,
You go
do
to
you
Le-
have that?
If you go to lexingtonky.gov, they have
Yeah.
something called a community crime map. It's
Uh-huh.
it's
Can you put that in the chat,
sure.
Scott, please, if
Did
you
you
have
say
that?
it was lexington.ky.gov?
No, lexingtonky.gov. I'll put it in the chat right now.
All right. And okay. That's good to know for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Renee and Scott.
Yes, thank you all.
Okay. Mhm. Knowing financial and mortgage information is also something visitors might ask about. So I was saying, if you can't get a lender there, have some information about a lender you work with, such as Homefront Mortgage. Pursuant to RESPA, Keller Williams Agents Associates must provide an ABA disclosure to the consumer at or before any referral is made to a mortgage company. More information on RESPA and ABA disclosure can be found here or at, let's see. Do y'all have that in your workbook, in your guide? This website, KW Connect. I'll get that information out. What's that?
I don't see it.
Okay, I'll get that information out to everyone also. Brush up on the home buying process. Open houses are a great place for first-time home buyers, first-time buyers, and they will likely have a lot of questions. Get your visitors to download and use the KW app to leverage leads. The more familiar you are with first-time buyer specifics, the more questions you'll be able to answer at your open houses. You don't have to know everything there is to know about mortgage information. Just know enough to get them down the road, like the general interest rates. For more specific information, this is where bringing a lender can be beneficial, or you can ask them if they'd like to be connected with a lender. If you've read MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, then you've heard of leads, listings, and leverage. Open houses are all about leads, leads, and leads. An open house is a great prospecting tool that requires mostly time as an investment. Let's look at some of the ways you can use open houses to prospect for leads. Build trust and rapport, provide value, capture information, and qualify leads. Build trust and rapport. Greet everyone that comes in the door. Engage in conversation. Be positive. Greet everyone that comes in the door, even the kids. It says, and the dog. They have a dog. Most people don't want someone else's pet in the house, unless it's a service dog. But you can ask visitors, what brought you in today? Are you looking for a home in this neighborhood / price range? Have you been looking at other houses? Would you like to know more about the market / neighborhood? What do you like about this house that I may share with others? Be positive and upbeat. Remember, clients are thinking about their futures and lifestyles. Be a positive force in their imagination. It also, people want to work with positive, upbeat people. So you always, want to have that game face on. Be positive. It's important to meet clients where they are. If visitors don't seem interested in engaging with you, match their energy and let them be. Provide value. Know your team's stats, know your market stats, know your stats, understand personality types, have something to offer the visitors. During an open house, it's important to demonstrate and provide value. You can also do this several ways, and the most obvious is to know your numbers. When you get to the day of the open house, make sure you know your stats or that of your team and or your market center. Know your market stats. Check the MLS. How many days the house has been on the market, price, number of houses sold in the neighborhood, and for what price. Understand personality types and conversation styles of different people, which brings it back to role play. Did they engage with you when you greeted them? Mirror their behavior and match their energy and interest levels. What are some things you've been able to offer visitors when they come to your open house? You can offer them the consumer app, a market report, a list of other houses for sale in the neighborhood. Some agents host different kinds of raffles during an open house. Some people give away $1 or $2 scratch-off tickets. Not to the kids, of course. The goal of the raffle is to capture leads. That's another good one. And it doesn't have to be anything, just, leave your information and, you leave your name, phone number, and email. Those are the first main three. And you'll be entered in the raffle, and it could be a $10 Starbucks card. You can also consider partnering with a local business for a small discount on services as a raffle prize. When you choose to do any kind of contest or raffle, keep in mind this warning. Contests and other incentives may be prohibited in your jurisdiction by real estate rules and other laws. Consult an attorney to ensure your compliance with all rules and laws. What did you notice during this role play? Oh, we didn't do the role play. I apologize. It's mostly Zoom. Capture information in qualified leads. Have a sign-in sheet. Use the KW app. Ask questions. Remember, you're there to get leads and appointments. During an open house, it's important to demonstrate and provide value. One of the primary uses of the KW apps is to be able to organize and consolidate lead information. Before, during, and after open houses, make sure you capture information and qualify leads. There are several ways you can do this. Have a sign-in sheet, customize a landing page in Command and have it available on an iPad. Offer the KW app, ask probing forward questions and who, what, where, when, why. And you're here to get leads and appointments, so ask for their business and referrals, and don't be attached to the outcome. Doing these 5 things and doing them well will help the participants achieve success when hosting open houses. Go, y'all. Yeah. Any questions? Anyone?
John, do you use an iPad and your landing page to secure that information at open houses?
Yes. Yep. That's what I use because it puts it in there instantly, and I know when it was captured, all that good stuff. Because it just saves me a step. And then, like I said, I usually do the as far as the feedback goes, I go ahead and put that in my phone. Or if you don't have many people at the open house, you can go back and go to Command, go to that contact, and then put that information in. Okay. See. Make sure you remember the goal of an open house is to generate leads and sell houses. Make sure you follow up and convert leads after an open house so your time investment pays off. If you don't prepare good enough and do the open house well, and do your follow-up, in a sense, you've wasted that time. And the open house is usually a couple of hours. Putting the signs out, if all you do is put the signs out and do the open house, that's 2.5 to 3 hours of your time at bare minimum. And if you don't follow up, but you have to prepare, all of it's important. You don't do all that, you're wasting your time. And who has time to waste? I know I don't. Then it's time to pursue your leads, reconnect with all your visitors. If during conversation, they tell me where their current home is, which I usually try to get that also in conversation. If they don't want to put it down, I usually send them a thank you note the next day. It's good practice after the open house to immediately update your database and contact information. Notes such as motivation, tags for smart plans and neighborhoods. So even after the open house, you do it from 12 to 2, your workday does not end. Once you drive home, some people, if it's a vacant house, you go ahead and do it right away if you have time. Go ahead and make sure everything's updated in your database. If you don't have time or if it's not a vacant house, as soon as you get home or back to the office, go ahead and do that. Update your database. Any questions? I hadn't even been looking at you. I apologize. After that, it's time to reconnect with the visitors. Reach out to them and thank them for coming. Ask if they're enjoying the KW app in their search for a new house, and ask if they have any further questions. Okay, we'd love your feedback. Go here, event type, Ignite, session 7. Instructor number 1, John Bentley. Instructor number 2, no one. If everybody could leave their feedback, we can all learn from that. Appreciate it. Take the time to do that. Select instructor not in drop down if name's not in there. The region, Ohio Valley. Yeah. KW Cares. Their mission is to empower, or together, we empower, support, and uplift our KW family during times of hardship due to sudden emergencies. KW Cares is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to serving Keller Williams Realty Associates and their qualifying members, family members, experiencing hardship as a result of a sudden emergency. Emergency grants up to $5,000, life-altering grants up to $30,000. Learn how you can donate with each closed transaction. Check out the QR code there. One thing that a lot of us do, agents here, in your commission, when you're setting up your commission, you can automatically have it taken out of your commission to donate to KW Cares. Let's see, also KW Next Gen, which I'll talk about here in a minute. It's just like a savings account. You know, it goes into their funds, but it's like a savings account for you. If you've ever set up a savings account that comes directly out of your check, you don't even miss it. You know, and you're making a major difference in people's lives. I donate to it every commission, and sometimes in between when they reach out, various times. Great cause. KW Next Gen mission is to empower and equip the next generation of leaders and entrepreneurs with the tools needed to remove limiting beliefs, take action, and live a big life. We serve young professionals and entrepreneurs looking to grow personally, professionally, and financially. We provide interactive learning experiences that help budding entrepreneurs, college students, and next generation leaders define their personal mission to a successful life through self-development events, coaching, and scholarships. Funded by Gary Keller, founder and executive chairman of Keller KWRI, this 501c3 nonprofit helps you achieve your goals and live your best life through the Quantum Leap methodology. Okay. Plan an open house. Any ahas? Anybody gonna start doing open houses?
Right after the ice disappears.
Right, right. But you can get started on that. Like if we know, well, it's not gonna melt anytime soon. But yeah, you can start looking up market statistics, which you should do that on a regular basis anyway. But let's see.
Talk about that real quick. What's the best reference you use for like daily market stuff analysis? If you're checking every day, like interest rates and stuff, do you have a go-to specific, John?
And well, I go to the MLS and I look up. I usually look up like it's funny because people want to know about their area, you know, their subdivision. And if they're thinking about maybe moving to, say, Richmond, maybe you have that stuff. But for everyday stuff, I just look up like Lexington in general. You know, look up like number of days on market, homes that have sold, price point. You know, did I mention days on market? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, general information. Scott, are you in the productivity coaching here at the office?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Beth should go over some of that stuff. But yeah, that's some of the basic stuff. You know, information that you would want to know. By the way, as far as the interest rate, it changes so much and it's not set in stone. So I always tell people, just like when you go to a listing appointment, I don't give them an exact number. Some agents do, but with the interest rate, I say, well, you know, of course it varies on the two main things, your debt to income ratio and your credit score. And there's some other variables, but that's the two main things. So it varies for people. So, you know, like right now, I tell them it's around 6, but you know, it depends on those two variables and a couple other and some other things. Because that is, a lot of people do ask that. Any other questions or ahas? I know we're finishing up a little early. Just damn.
I think this session gave me a lot of good ideas about what to do to make the open houses more beneficial. I did 3 the week that I first became an agent, and you know, I didn't know that I could do all of these other things. So I think this will be really helpful for me.
Oh yeah, and I can't remember exactly where it's at. Might be in the MRAEA. I'm embarrassed that I can't remember exactly where it's at, but the 7 steps to a great open house. And if you do all that, yeah, if you do all that stuff, I mean, it's, yeah.
Are you referring to the open house playbook, maybe?
Yes, that's it. Thank you, Sophia.
Yeah. Yeah, but this had, from the ideas that others shared about doing like a theme or, preparing lists of similar houses and being more intentional with the houses that you do choose to do an open house for. I think all of that was very helpful for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. And don't everybody should try it. It doesn't cost you as much. It's not like buying leads or any of that stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that, not saying that, but the ROI, the potential return on investment is very high. And you're not going to get all of these steps the first few times you do it. It's just like anything else. But, do a few of them, look back on what you did well and what you didn't do well, what maybe you need to do better. It's just like anything else. The more you do it, the better you'll be at it, more consistent. And if anybody has any questions about open house or anything, feel free to reach out to me. All right. Everybody have a great day. Stay warm. Stay
Thanks,
safe.
John.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, John. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You're welcome. Thanks. Thanks for coming in. Okay. Thanks, you too.
Actually doesn't exist at all. Okay. So wait, why'd she go away? We don't know. That's the problem.
Yeah, so like I can't even, I'm trying to re-record to say like, hey, something switched between January 24th and January 28th